Okay, Sultans Swing Part 2. So we did all the chords and those kind of things that are done over and over throughout the song. And now we're going to start working on the fills. So, but rather than just do the fills like fill 1, fill 2, fill 3, all the way to, 5 verses of fills each one, what I want to do is show you that, a lot, it's sort of not always doing the same thing over and over again, but he is playing on whatever chord it is. And sometimes he's just doing variations of each thing. So you don't have to think every time, oh, this lick goes here, this lick goes there. A lot of it's just a variation of the same lick. And after we get started, you'll see what I mean, okay? So anyway, we're in D minor. We talked about playing bits of chords. Like right here, I'm playing 4, 3, and 2, and then 1, 2, and 3. This first lick very much starts around that. So I'm going to take a few things right here and just show you some different things. One is your D minor pentatonic. Well, first of all, let's just think of the chord. If I leave off this note, I have that. And if I were to play D minor 7 arpeggio, you could take the D minor pentatonic. So let's start on D. On the 5th string, it's 5, 8, and then 5, 7, 5, 7, and then 6, 8, and 5, 8. Well, that's kind of the D minor pentatonic, minor 7th. Look. So there's starting not on the D, but the 7th there. And I say it's not 7th fret, that's the 5th fret, but the 7th of the chord. There's the D. Here's the 1st, the minor 3rd, the 5th. And then there's the 7th up there and the 7th here. Well, you've heard that. And then it's all right there, all right around that chord. If you look at this chord and I play this lick, okay, here's the D minor scale just for fun, starting on the 5th string, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8 on the 4th string, 5, 7 on the 3rd, 5, 6, 8, 5, 6, 8. So just keep all of that in mind. There's your theory right around everything, man, when you go looking for it, okay? So anyway, this first lick starts off like this. You just hammer on the 5. This is a signature one, so you want to get it for sure. So 5 to 7. And I roll over to 7 on the 3rd string and then back to 7 on the 4th. 6 on the 6th fret on the, and you can think of the chord there other than this first note. See, I just picked them all. 5, that's 5, 7, 5, 2, 3, string numbers 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, but I just do a hammer first. And I play them like single notes because I don't want them to ring, so I'm playing them like notes. Then we hold this chord and do a rake, and Mark Knopfler fingers. And if you're not finger picking, you can use a pick, but grab 8, back down to 5, 6 on the 2nd, and I slide up and back down from 5 to 6 back to 5. Might be a little to start off. Now, here's the thing to think of. So these chords go D minor, C, B flat, A7 down here, or A7 up here. Now, here's a great exercise for you, because these guys, Mark Knopfler, really great guitar players, Steely Dan guitar players, all those kind of cats, are thinking kind of chord. They're thinking in the key, but they're thinking about the next chord coming up. If you play the top note, if you follow, this is a great progression to just follow one note down. I mean, that just, and if I did that with the bass notes, that sounds nice. If I do the second string in the chord, so the F, that'd be the 6th fret, the C, that'd be the 5th, that'd be the 3rd for the B flat, and that, listen to that. Now that's beautiful. I'm just playing the bass note with it. You could make a nice lick out of that. That I don't think he does. You know, sounds like something he'd play. So anyway, my point is, you hear D minor, you get a silver and a dog. It's so look at this. I'm playing these two notes out of the C chord. I'm just gonna play 5, 3, 2, 3, then move down to here to the 3rd fret, 3, 2, 3, and then play the A note. And I think he slides up to 6 because then they said, yeah, then he slides up 7, follows the chords down that way. You know, he's just not really doing much while he's singing. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Then there's this other thing around the D minor chord at the end of the verses. And there's a bunch of variations, but basically it's this. You know, you can think of, just think of these notes. He doesn't play the minor 7th, he plays the frets. Let's go with just almost like a block thing of these notes. Let's use those notes, but one would be start on the 7 here. Or, so that's just hammer, hammer, or even, or, which is my favorite out of that. So just hammer, hammer, 5, back to 7. Here's another variation on this lick here, which is my favorite thing, kind of goes chromatic, doing that same kind of thing. And then that's all around the D minor chord, you know, usually at the end of the, coming back into the verse. So, you get a silver in the dark, it's a raining in the park, but meantime. Oh yeah, he does this. Now, at this same part, you're going to hear a few licks. We're just going to do some licks through, not just the first verse, but just kind of around these parts of these chords here. You're at A or A7, and then here's a couple licks that lead into the F. Here's one. Now, think of your A or F like this. We've done our 6 stuff where we do like turnarounds like, that's around your A. We're going to play 3, 1, 3. So this is the 6th fret, 5th fret, 6th. I'm just going to put one finger down here to get a minor 6 there. So that's 6 and 6. That's 3 and 4. And then 1 and 3 because that lands right on the F. I use this shape a lot when you think of a D shape. In case we've never done this, think of a D shape, bar it, 1, 2, 3, put your middle finger in the middle, this, call that a big boy D. I use it for the F up here and in the A there to get those kind of licks, that shape. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, what brought me to that there, so. Now here's another one in a different verse. He goes, now maybe my favorite lick. There's many of my favorite licks in this song. Every time I get to, oh, that's my favorite lick. This is one. So this is really beautiful, haunting. We're playing the same thing, 6 and 5, and then the strings are 3, 1, 3. Move up to 7 and 7. Slide up to 12 and down to 10. And that's landing on the F chord, which kind of makes it sound minor a little bit, which is more like the D minor chord there, which is cool. So we covered stuff like okay. Okay. Now these Fs, we got some country stuff here. And I don't know if we've done any country stuff, but this is stuff I do every night. I play all night long. You know, he's just brought it into rock and roll and calmed it down, so, you know, kind of disguising it. But if you think of this, if you look at this here, again, we're looking at that and this. So that's just an F chord. Same thing as this. So if I take this note, if I just hold these two notes, that's an F chord. I'm playing a whole F chord right there. But if I hold it with these two fingers, and then put this finger here, actually put all three fingers here, this is a whole step down, and then bend this note up a whole step to that note, I still get an F chord, but that's right, that'll land right on the F chord sometimes. Now here's a thing that happens. He gets this B flat. I think it's like this. Just look again at your F chord shape. We're just going to, on 4, 3, and 2, I'm going to pick 4 and 3, and then 2 and 3, and then 4 and 3, and then slide up 2 frets because that'll land right on the C chord. Okay, so that happens a lot, maybe every time. Okay. What's another F? Does it here? He does this. It's the same thing basically. We just have one less string. Again, I do this all night long in country. It's basically just the exact same thing, but on the first and second string. This would be a B bender lick. I don't have my guitar strap on. It would be a B bender without the B. So, or without actually using the strap. You bend the second string. I'm at 8 and 8, and I bend. Now the trick to this is, it's not like blues. It's not like, it's like an on-off switch. We want this perfect straight to pitch, and that's it. So there's another thing, you know, we go from 9 and 8 down to 7, 8. If you look at that, that's back into your D minor, so kind of thing. All right, the A chord. A lot of cool licks here. One, if you take this D chord and you take your little suspended thing that we do down here all the time, now you recognize that right away. I'm just pulling this off. 10 to 9. Playing the second string, third string. Now, a couple different ways you can do this. I've seen it written a couple different ways. again, I play it more like single finger, and I play it around this chord shape. Come to 4, and I'm gonna play 12 and pull off to 11 and get that A there on the 10th fret, 2nd string. Now, I've seen it written like that too, so you could go and just kind of right back into that. And he phrases it different. Sometimes it's it all fits. They're notes in the chord. Now, another one is that I think this is what he does. I seen this written different here a minute ago, and I don't remember it, and I didn't check it. But I've always just played the same thing, just lower. So this is D, C sharp, A, E, D, C sharp, A, E, D sharp. And you're into your F. Another A lick. So there's just variations on that. So you might want to, just piddle around with it and listen to those things there. You'll find them. We can go over these exact if you want, but I just want you to kind of understand, he's at the A chord. That way, if you're in the song, you can't think of the exact lick at the exact place, which is good to be able to do, but you can jam on it and, a little too, and I'm sure that he does. So another A thing, check out Guitar George. He knows all the chords. If you play a D7, and you move it up here to 9 and 8, it's an A. I like to use these fingers and then make it a diminished chord. I don't know if we've done a diminished chord, but this would be starting on the 4th string. It would be 8, 9, 8, 9. And you just move it down a fret and back up. Okay? The bigger A lick that you gotta know, man. This is it. Something like that. I can't remember the end. I think that's where it goes lands into the back into the F. But anyway, the important part of it is to think of a blues lick. It's kind of like this A joining this A. You play like a blues lick. 7, bend up into 9. 2nd string, 1st string. 2nd string. Now I'm coming up to 8 on the 2nd string, and I'm kind of shifting position. Bending that up a whole string. Little finger gonna grab the 9th fret. This is like some Merle Haggard shit right here. Still holding that. Bend that down. Grab the 7. Listen to Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard as it gets. And bending that 7th up, back and forth. Maybe one of the harder licks in the song. Really great. And all these things like this are movable. Yeah, there's another thing he does. I think it's this. So he does that one. Bends both strings. I'm playing 7 and 8. and you can bend just one there, but it's hard to do that. You're bending them both back and forth. You'll hear that lick when you listen to it. Oh, trying to think. I think we got all the. You know, see, here's the cool thing about it, is you can probably take this lick and go and associate the words with it. Like, you can certainly associate, he knows all the chords with, you know. Mellow and they double 4 time. Below. So, I mean, that's just, you know, as far as the notes, just almost everything is around a chord, man. Look for the chord that you're playing around. There's a connection there. With this song in particular, you know, what is this? It's not just a random lick up there. It's an A chord. He's playing an A chord, so he went to the A to play an A lick. It's a D minor. It's a B flat. You know, it's a F. Every bit of this song, man, and it's genius. And here's the other thing, you know. You start studying jazz and these things, and you hear arpeggios, you know, and even shred and stuff, you know, they're, you know, all that, whatever. But if you follow a chord progression, like, okay, you know, D minor, C, B flat, A, whatever, you know, we start off sounding like, you know, but what he does is he's just got it all under control, where he hadn't really necessarily, like, you're not thinking that he's playing arpeggios, even when he's playing, you know, that's following the chord progression perfectly. That's why it sounds so melodic, and that's why our ears love this so much, because he's playing notes inside the chord that makes it sound melodic, rather than just riffing all the time on blues pentatonic that has a kind of a, doesn't sound wrong, but sort of has a floating nothingness to it. He's hitting these notes inside the chord that keep drawing our ear in perfectly and leading us, you know, into the next chord. So anyway, it's sort of a music theory lesson. And then, you know, if you want to go through this lick by lick, maybe I can do a run through with it. I got to figure out a way. I guess I have to put it on the computer and then play along with it. You know, but basically that's it. You know, I mean, that's it. Like I said, you know, once you kind of get one of the riffs, you just have to listen to it, and you know, it's just a little different. You know, they're just variations. So work on the fills. Look on figuring out where you're at. How sweet is that? It's so easy. You know, that's the C, B flat, A. You know, that's how you do fills, man. God, man, that's just beautiful. I mean, you can't find anything better than that, ever. And then you could work your way up, you know, you could go, well, what's the next notes in C? C and G, this is a little theory. And then I need a little B flat here, so. And now A7, so maybe. You can come up with endless stuff once you know the theory behind that, know the notes in the chord, and just kind of find them. But anyway, I think I yacked enough. So, if you got any questions, let me know. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upload this sucker. Seems like the internet is running really slow right now. I have figured out a little better way to upload it. I'll probably try that tonight and get it to you. Later, man. Got any questions? Give me a shout.